Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Richard, aka Crypto Loaners, and I'm here with another video on Cryptohopper. This is going to be focusing on Cryptogrower, which I believe used to be named Cryptogrowth. They are now going to be a paid service at $5, which could be good for those that have actually had good service with them. They've recently put themselves on Binance, and I've started using them when they were free temporarily, and I've had some mixed results, which I'll share with you now. I had a bit of back and forth with the person that runs it on Twitter, and some of it may be in part, some of it may be a little bit of impatience on my part, but there also was definitely some negatives to what was going on. Like if you actually look here, this negative 0.55 is almost exclusively due to crypto growth and a lot of negatives that I was having at the time. And we can go back and look at some of the other transactions that I had with them. But as far as these buys and sales go, like this is all exclusively crypto growth here. Some of this is actually coming up. This EOS was very negative before, but it came up. The ADA was a lot more negative. There was another ADA purchase. And actually, tell you what, let's look at Twitter because I'll show you the interaction that I had with them. And here's another thing, actually, by the way, just as a thing, and I don't know if they're going to change this or not. All their signals you can actually see on Twitter as they come out. Like the moment that it hits your trading bot, it's also hitting Twitter at the same time. So you can kind of see what's going on there if you want to. If you wanted to try to do a subscription, like buy it yourself without actually subscribing, I guess you could look at that way. I don't necessarily recommend it because the timing wise may not work out exactly. Let's see if I can find. I probably would have been smart just to have looked at my own feed instead of looking at his. There we go. So just a little bit of back and forth I had with them where he presents the positives that his feeds have done, and I don't disagree. Like I think on some of the other platforms it's done well. On Binance, which I know he's new on, it hasn't been super great. This is what it looked like before. This is what it looked like before, where I had almost everything was red. ADA was purchased 3 different times. EOS was purchased 3 different times also. And I don't know why this system kind of does that, because it's not like these had ever come up positive previously. It's just ultimately I don't know what it is in his system that causes that to happen. But this was 5 purchased. The first ADA was purchased 5 hours ago, and the most recent one was probably about an hour before this. That sold for a profit. The others are still in a negative loss. The EOS, thankfully, as we can watch here, is now in a positive, and that's just recent. Like this wasn't recent. This was all negative up to about an hour or so ago. So it looks like at least that'll come out positively. Some of these other ones that I've been holding on to have been just in the negative ever since I purchased them, or they might have come up at a very small positive, like let's say a 0.2%. And then dropped into the negatives after that. If we look at my trade history, you'll see I got rid of a couple things that were negatives, not due to the fault of their bot. So I won't look at this. These were some manual trades I think I had done that I was messing around with that did not go well. But if we take a look, pretty sure almost all of these were due to, these were, actually, we can take a look and see. Oh, it only shows the manual, so I'd have to find the buy for this, but I'm pretty sure that this was a, Cryptogrowth buy as well. And they'd come up and then fall down, and they might just barely squeak back up again. I was like, all right, you know what? As I'm staring at it, I'm getting antsy because I could just see them falling back down to the negatives. The bat was negative for quite some time before I finally pulled, like it just barely went positive. And I was like, let me just get rid of this because I don't think this is going to go any further up. It actually might have got to 0.2 and then dropped down to 0.16 before I pulled the trigger and got rid of it. On the weekend, I have a bit of time where I can just kind of sit there and watch things as they happen occasionally and get rid of things. Most of these, like if I look at this nano buy, this was a good buy for them. Like there were definitely some good buys that they recommended, so it's not all bad. I just don't know if I can completely recommend them at this point. If the buy works, great. They've worked good for you, more power to you. I don't know. I'm going to wait for them to be on Binance a bit longer just to see. Maybe the signals recently have just been a little poor because they're new to Binance itself. So I'll wait a little bit and then come back and check out the config, check the signals, and check the results after that, where you can go in and see. They've just only started today, so they don't really have anything. And when I say today, I mean that they switched from being paid to unpaid today. And it's kind of funny, actually. There was, even after I had started the back and forth, and I was like, oh, okay, you switched to paid subscribers. Okay, cool. I still was getting their paid signals, even though it says I was unsubscribed, and that may be a Cryptohopper issue and not a Cryptogrowth/Cryptogrower issue. But I was still getting Cryptogrower signals, even though I shouldn't be. So, all right, that's it. Thanks. Like, subscribe to the video, check things out, and I will follow up with you guys with a video later today, maybe talking a little about pump and dump things involving Cryptohopper. I wound up unintentionally having something in my hopper where I wound up profiting from it, thankfully. But yeah, we'll follow up later. Thanks, guys.